Hey, welcome back. So, a little bit, as you can see, I've got some stuff sitting around here. I've got to have a bit of a tidy up. I've got a roll cage to do. It's coming in very shortly. Half cage and a seat fitment. Might actually, let's do a video and show you all that. That might be tagged on to what we're talking about here. So, progress has continued on our 1969 Gloria. Well, it's not ours, it's a customer's. Ben's 1969 Gloria. I think I showed you the front cross member. She was all rusted out through here where it attaches to that chassis rail, the original chassis rail. So this is a new one. This is these are all these spot welds are actually TIG welds, just to attach the 1.2mm electrogalv sheet onto the 1.6mm electrogalv sheet, which has been all folded up. That was Colin's profile cutting gave us a hand with that one. That is about 1350 wide, and my little pan brake or folder over there is only 1220, so I couldn't do that in one piece. I could have perhaps folded to say here and then overlap that piece on each end. Would have been okay. It probably would have been quite good for a little bit more structure where that attaches to the rails, but I thought I'd just copy what the factory had done a bit more closely. So this is exactly what they had done here as far as attachment on the inside, except the original factory one, that was one tab that came off the end of the rail. It's just easier to do it like that, a bit nicer. And then similar sort of thing with this brace here. It comes down, joins onto this side. I've left that as a separate piece because we're not 100% certain what's happening with this area here just yet, until I steal the front suspension out of that and figure out exactly where everything's going to sit. I've done some measurements, I'm pretty sure I know where it all sits, but actually putting it there in person is, or physically, is a different deal sometimes. So that's carrying on over this side. We've got that rail made and put in there, and there's a little bit of a brace that goes up on the firewall up here, which has been removed, mostly removed, still a little bit to go here. And the underguard's been chopped out. And you would have seen, if you follow us on Facebook, you would have seen that we have this lovely machine here, actually still attached to the engine stand, and lowered the car down onto it, and we now know where it's going to sit in there. It doesn't fit, so that's cool. Had no doubt really that it was going to fit in there. Wanted to check the exhaust headers that came with this engine in that car and make sure that those were going to work without massive drama, and they do, so that's cool. They sit probably a little bit lower than what would be perfect. They're down about here somewhere, if you can see that, so down maybe say 50 mils lower than what the chassis rails are, so they'll be the low point at this point for everything sitting in the car. But that's easy. I mean, we can chop and change headers pretty easily. That's no problem at all, especially because they're only mild steel. They need a bit of tidying up, and they need probably ceramic coating or something like that anyway, so there's no big deal. We'll chop and change those to suit. So yeah, that's looking pretty awesome. One little headache that I know that is coming is the gearbox. That gearbox there, like I say, I've got to shift all this stuff, I've got a job coming in, but it's a remote shifting gearbox, which is nice in the 350Z. It would have been better if it wasn't remote shifting for this installation. So what we end up with is this bit here is sitting out there in the car, so the gear lever is a little bit further back than what's ideal. However, we are putting in new bucket seats in the car, and it might work out that it's just, we just shift the seats back 50-60 mils and then everything will be in a good spot again. We'll probably convert it to e-throttle rather than a cable throttle, just because it'll work out better for things like traction control, and I believe this car's going to need it with 600 horsepower, give or take a little bit, and who knows how much torque. A lot of torque, and being manual and just rear wheel drive only, it's traction control is probably a pretty good idea, and even if it has a dial to turn it up or down to suit. So, alright, so like I said, I've got to reorganise things a little bit here so that we can get this this cage job into the shop, which is it's not going to be a big deal. I'll push that red car out of the way somewhere and put these engines over here and chuck a cover over them, and we'll get into it. So next thing you see might be Mr. Ben turning up with this little Mazda. Yes, I do work on other brands of cars. It doesn't have to be a Nissan. It's cool if it is. It doesn't have to be. So, alright, see you in a little bit. Cool. So I said I'd have a tidy up, and I did, and we've got a little Mazda in here now. There's a bit more room. It started raining. Of course it rained just as this got here and we had to unload it, but that's life. So there's the Mazda speed seat and our little, was it an MP3 or something? Is that what it is? Yeah. MPS? I was pretty close. It's a turbocharged monster. These things are pretty fast, realistically. Good wheels and tyres and a good driver and a few more mods, and this would probably be quicker than the March. But we don't care because the March is silly, so that's all good. And so this is Ben, and he's going to unbox his seat there. Wow. Well, we sort of cheated. I mean, technically it's out of the box, but he's going to he's going to finger it. I'm wondering who's more excited, Ben or the seat. So out it comes, brand new Race Tech. What particular model is this one, Ben? Do you remember?
4100, I think it is.
Well, there you go.
The last one had the latest one.
Latest seat from Race Tech, a 4100, something like that. Free plug for them. They're good guys. They're a good, high quality New Zealand made seat. Recognised as the best by some. I'm pretty happy with my OMPs, but
The new seat smell.
oh, look at that! Look at that! And so in here we've got some. We're in the box now with the camera. This is our Race Tech 6-point harness, is it? Yep. 6-point cam-locky harness, and oh, look at that!
Nice little brackets.
Aluminium brackets for the seat. So we'll get on with it. We'll watch Ben doing that for a second. Yep. We'll get these rails ripped out of here and start fabricating some stuff to adapt those and that into that, and we'll have a look at where we're doing lower harness points, etc. And then over there somewhere in amongst the mess is our main hoop and backstays, harness bar, maybe enough for a diagonal, maybe not. Didn't quite have enough. There was none in stock. We'll look at what we're up to when we get there. Cool, see you soon. A couple of hours later, 2.5 hours later or something, we've got our seat in the car. Nice Race Tech brackets onto our adapters here. So we've used the factory attaching point there, and same on the other side. It's just a slightly different design onto the tunnel there. So it's pretty rigid. That's actually the seat doing the flexing, not the brackets. So our man's happy. He's going to load his stuff and things in there. The bumper fell off. That's that political satire. The front fell off. So we've left it in the environment, so that's okay. It's outside of the environment. Outside of the environment. Cool, alright. So, that's that. We've done a bit of a drawing on the old whiteboard here, so we know where we're bending our cage to, the long big bar there, and I'll get on with that and give you an update on that later on, but that'll do for today. Alright, cheers.